Hey, it's Rob. Leave a message. It's the longest day of the summer, so let's party. Got some great recipes for some spicy Asian ribs and maybe some juicy veal chops, a little grilled asparagus and some sweet peppers. Bring your appetite.
This is not a drill.
It's time to grill.
Summer Solstice, the longest day of the year, the shortest night of the year. Any excuse to have a party. Gonna do some grilled asparagus, some watercress and potato salad, some baby back ribs, slow grilled, and something really cool. Look at these veal chops. Nice and tender, just a little fat on the outside. These char up so well, but we're gonna have to marinate these. Little olive oil, fresh oregano. I'm not even gonna chop it, I'm just gonna rip it and throw it in. The essential oils will just start to hit the skin. Woo, that's gonna be really good. Touch more olive oil. I'm gonna pop this into the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours. Got a killer sauce I'm gonna do with this. It's gonna taste really good. High heat grilling. This is gonna be great. 3 hours in the fridge. Baby back ribs. Now, just like the veal, this pork comes from a younger animal. You've got lots of marbling in here. All the fat is concentrated, so when you cook it over a long period of time, it just starts to break down and you get it really tender. Now, we're gonna marinate these. So we're just gonna put these into our plastic bag. Here we go. And we want all of our ingredients in contact with the meat all the time. So I'm gonna start off with a little hoisin, because this is an Asian influence marinade. Just pour that all over. This is a sweetness, the molasses in here. Got a lot of sweet elements here. Some plum sauce, again, that fruity, sweet taste. I'm gonna throw in here. Little oyster sauce. Kind of gives it that fishy, but it's not really fishy. Gives more sweetness. Now we're gonna start breaking it down a little bit. Got a little red wine vinegar. This will interact with the muscle and the meat itself and just start to break down the fibers, make it really tender. Another sweet element, honey. Everybody knows about the sweetness honey gives already. Don't have to describe you, honey. A little soy for that salty. This really balances sweet, salty. Have some sherry. More sweetness, but this is gonna help break down the fibers. A little sesame seed oil. Go light on this, because this really flavors it quickly, but works well with all the other ingredients. A little orange zest. All those oils from the skin really penetrates right into the pork. These are my friends, so I'm gonna give them a little kick when they get here. Little sambayo, little hot sauce, whatever you want. Get that in there. Start mixing a little bit. Want to move it all around. A little five spice. Five spice consists of cinnamon stick, fennel seed, Szechuan pepper, star anise, and cloves. Just dust that in there. Make sure that we rub that a little bit. Our trusty pepper, never leave home without it. Fresh garlic, you can't cook without it. And fresh ginger. Pop that in there, a little bit more heat with that ginger. Bring that over, start the closing. Make sure you burp. Now start the mixing. I've used 3,000 different ingredients here, and each one is going to add its own unique flavor. From the soy to the hoisin to the honey, all of those are going to work really well. See that little extra stuff here? I'm going to use that to baste with. It's going to make it really tender. Now you can pop this into the fridge for 30 minutes, but the longer the better, 3 to 4 hours. It is summer solstice. You got a few extra hours, you might as well use them. My baby back ribs, been in the fridge for about 3.5 hours now. Ready to come out. Hot marinade is really working. Let's take a look. Let's try to get off as much as you can in the baggie. Onto our tray. Now this meat is even more tender than it was when it first went in. Can feel that, just wobbling. Let's get the other one out. Save as much of that liquid as possible, really important, and I'll tell you why in a second. Get all this liquid into a pot now. What I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna turn this into a baste. Once the ribs start to cook, just gonna start to baste them nice and gently all the way through the cooking because they're really tender, but we need to add more moisture. These need to come to room temperature now. Very important. If you've ever put meat on the grill and it's charred on the outside and cold on the inside, you just didn't let it come to room temperature. This will work. All you have to do is leave it out for 30 minutes. Baste, meat, grill. My ribs have been out for 30 minutes now, and there are two ways to barbecue: fast and high, low and slow. These ribs need low and slow. Want to put them onto my grill, but first, just get a little oil here. Don't want anything sticking to the grill. Very important once you've marinated to make sure nothing sticks to your grill. So it's really important to cook them low and slow because there's a lot of connective tissue in here. If you want it to break down, low and slow. Now I'm going to put these on, and I'm going to put them on bone side down. Why am I doing that? Because the grill will heat the bone, and the bone will start to cook the meat from the bottom side. Make it nice and tender. Close your lid. 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius, about 2.5 hours. Just let the grill do the work. Let's check on our baste. I've brought this to a boil, and all I'm doing now is just simmering it, so let it reduce, get nice and thick. I'm gonna make a little red wine glaze for my veal chop. My veal chop's pretty neutral in flavor at this point because I only had oregano and a little olive oil. I'm gonna add some of these wonderful ingredients here, a little garlic and ginger. Just gotta get a little chop in here first before I get it into the bowl. That's finished. Start with a little garlic in and a little ginger in. Here we go. The ginger for heat, the garlic, because you just can't cook without it. So we have a little red wine vinegar for some tartness. So we're gonna boil all this stuff first. So get that in. A little soy for some salt. There you go. A little Merlot for the wine factor. Be generous with this now because you're gonna reduce this. A little port. When port's reduced, it really gets nice and sweet. So get that in there, and it's a classic combination with veal. Little grape jelly for some thickness and sweetness. Gotta balance it all out. Put a little salt in there, not too much because it's gonna reduce. So just pop this onto the grill, bring it to a boil, reduce by 2/3. You'll have yourself a nice thick syrup that'll go really well with your veal. Red wine glaze is ready for a taste. It's reduced by 2/3. That's amazing. The full-bodiedness of the red wine, the port, it's really sweet now, the ginger and the garlic. This is ready to go. We're gonna brush that over the veal once I get it onto the grill. We'll just hold it over here for a while. Summer solstice, summer asparagus. And some are just lucky. I'm gonna show you how to grill these now. It's really simple to work with them. Mother Nature has a natural breaking point. Now you know how to use it.
All right.
A little rosemary here. Just bruise that. Get those essential oils starting. Just simply strip them off. We're gonna make this a marinade here, so just gotta pop them all off. Just do a quick chop on these. Get our trusty plastic bag because that's what we marinate everything in. Pop our asparagus in. Get in our rosemary. Little olive oil. There we go. Little dried oregano. Little salt. Freshly cut lemon. Squeeze. Let's close our bag up. Get the air out. Just mush these around. Make sure that they're coated with all that olive oil. They're gonna hit the grill soon. Into the fridge for about an hour. I gotta make some salads. Summer solstice. Friends are coming over, and my potatoes have been on for about 15 minutes. Fork tender. I'm gonna make a watercress and potato salad. Time to get these off. Watercress. This is gonna be the main peppery component in my salad. These are really, you get a nice little kick out of them. Leafy green. Just gonna take the stems off here. They're a little hard. You don't wanna have those in there. Just chuck them out. There we go. Just add those. Let's get rid of this. There we go. Gonna add our potatoes now. They're nice and cool. Now we can work with them. I'm just gonna simply cut them in half. Want them in nice little bite-sized pieces. Gonna cut the last one. Now I'm using mini red potatoes and white potatoes, but you can use any potato you want. These are nice little bite-sized pieces, really easy for me. Let's get those in, because we gotta make a little toss here. Just add the last few. Now it's time to make the dressing. Trusty jar. Have a few precious ingredients here. Fresh lemons. Let's just get these cut. Squeeze that inside. That'll really bump up the flavor a lot. A little olive oil. Just drizzle it in. Here we go. Season. Little salt. Little pepper. Fresh garlic. Pop that in. And something really special here. Little maple syrup for sweetness. Just a touch. Take the edge off the citric acid in there, the lemon juice. Just do the little shake, shake. I'm gonna give it a taste. The maple syrup, the lemon juice, the olive oil, really good. And I forgot one other ingredient, a little bit of love. I'm not gonna mix them together right now. Don't want my potatoes to get mushy or my greens to get wilted. So separate them, pop them into the fridge. We'll serve this right before dinner. Here's a trick I just learned. I'm up to 2 now. I'm gonna do a little grilled pepper, some feta and olives. I'm gonna show you how to do these. Get the top out here, twist, most of the seeds come out. Now we're just gonna cut this into a third. There we go. 2 more to do. So I've taken all the insides out. Now it's time to transfer it over to the grill. I'm gonna start charring these up. They're gonna get nice and soft. I'm gonna add some cheese, feta, and some olives, and it's just gonna start to bubble. This is gonna be really good. Now for my tomatoes. So we're just gonna cut them into slices. We're gonna add a few ingredients, some basil, some goat's cheese. There we go. Dress that all at the end. Let's get some yellow here. This is a classic Italian salad. We're not finished yet. Some onion. Just cut this in half, nice and thin. Just gonna layer these on top. Just let them drop nicely. just add one more element here, some goat's cheese. This is gonna add a real creaminess to this dish. And 3 more ingredients, a little olive oil, a little balsamic, and some fresh basil just at the end, just before my guests get here for summer solstice. Into the fridge. I'm gonna show you the most effective way to turn on your barbecue.
Yes.
Hey baby, how you doing? Anyway, my baby back ribs have been cooking for about 2 hours and 10 minutes now. That tastes really good. Remember that marinade I had earlier? I've reduced it down. Now it's nice and thick. It's the glaze right now. I'm gonna give it a quick taste. 5 spices really giving it a good kick. 20 minutes left. All I have to do now, just keep basting. This is gonna really add to the flavor of these baby back ribs. My veal's ready to go on, but first, baby back ribs, low and slow, veal, high and fast. Before I put them on, I gotta season them up a bit. Little olive oil, be generous, a little pepper, gotta season these up. Can't put them on without seasoning. Go, little salt. Flip them over first before you get them on. Gotta season up both sides. Last little bit of seasoning. Now before we put them on the grill, gotta oil it down first. Lift up. Now I'm just using a little veg oil this time. You can use grapeseed oil, you can use any oil you have at home. Just make sure it's nice and oiled. Now this is a super, super hot grill. 1 steamboat, 2 steamboats, yeah, I need char marks now. So let's get these on. And I'm using the 2-tiered approach. Super high heat on the right-hand side, medium heat on the left-hand side. That's all I mean. Now the fun part starts. Get to turn them. See what they look like. Look at those beautiful marks. Remember I told you about those 2 levels of heat? I'm gonna slide these over to the cooler side of my grill now. We've cooked them 5 minutes per side. These still have about 7 minutes to go. At about 5 minutes, I'll start to glaze. Gotta go check out my ribs now. Take a look at these ribs. These are beautiful. These are ready to come off. Let's get them out of here. Ooh, these are hot. Ooh. Time to put my vegetables on. Put my peppers on second. I'll start with my asparagus. It's marinated in that olive oil and a little salt and a little pepper. And these are gonna take no time at all. Maximum 10 minutes. Super high heat, pop those on. Now I've gotta prep my other vegetables here, my peppers. Little olive oil, just get it on there. You wanna make sure that the skin is still oiled before it hits the grill. Little salt, little pepper, because you always want to season. Open this grill up, super, super hot. All we want to do is just char the skin a little bit. Once the peppers start to char, I'm going to add in my olives and my feta. And it's just going to start to bubble and be really nice. Now I got to get in my cheese and my olives. Just use your hands to get in there. It's not that bad. Cheese will start to melt. The olives will be nice and salty, feta salty, and the sweet peppers, Just wait for the cheese to bubble, and then they're ready to come off. Ah, these are almost finished. Time for glazing. Give it a little taste. Red wine and port. These are ready to be smothered It's gonna be sticky in another couple minutes. Ooh, doesn't that look sexy? These are only gonna take a couple minutes to get nice and sticky. I'm gonna go check out my vegetables now. The pepper with the feta and olives, they're ready to come off now. These are bubbling really nicely. Just get these off. There we go. And our asparagus, they're ready to come off too. Just slide them in, and we'll take a look when the steam dies down. Let's check on our veal chops. Now these are ready to come off.
Brighter than a shining star.
Hey guys, can you help me carry some of this stuff?